Hey, it's Tahar here from the Qoblex team, and today we're going to look into invoicing sale orders. First thing we're going to do is go to the sales view and look for a sale order that we would like to invoice. We're going to invoice order SO 2036. Once the order is open, select the items you would like to invoice and click on the invoice button. The invoice now shows all the line items with the quantities from the order and the prices that have also been copied from the order. Discounts are the discount line items that are inside the order line items. You can remove lines. For example, if I choose not to invoice this line item, then it will be left uninvoiced. I can authorize the invoice. Once done, I can either add a payment, and the system will populate the paid amount to match the invoice total. If you're recording a full payment, all you need to do is then click on Add Payment and then click on Save and Close. You can record partial payments by changing the payment amount in this input before hitting Save and Close. If you have Xero rules that sync your payments to different ledger accounts, different tracking categories by payment gateway, you can also record the payment gateway here. This will mark the invoice as fully paid, and you have the paid amount at the bottom and the due amount right underneath. If you want to create a shipment that corresponds and matches this invoice, then just click on the Ship button. If I want to create an invoice for the item that I previously removed from the first invoice, I can click on Columns to see all the items that have been, or the items that are remaining to invoice. And from what I can see from here, it's this line item, which is the Vans shoes. So I'll select that item, click on Invoice, change the quantity if necessary. For this line item, we have one order from the order item, so there is only one unit to invoice. Same thing here, I'll authorize the invoice, and I'll add a payment to it. So I have the full amount, Save and Close, and the invoice is now marked as fully paid. And because all of the items have been invoiced and they have been paid, the order is flagged as paid, which you can see here in the order header. Now, what if I wanted to edit an invoice? Say the first invoice that I issued had the wrong price. I cannot change that in the order anymore because there's an invoice. What I can do is I can go to the invoice and I can click on Edit, and this will attempt to edit the invoice. Now, the system complains that it cannot unauthorize the invoice because it has a payment attached to it, which is the case here. So before I can edit the invoice, I should first undo the payments. Try again. Now there is another error message that says, I cannot edit this invoice 3460. The invoice has a payment or credit note in your accounting system. This is something we're going to cover in another video, but invoices will be created in your accounting system, such as Xero or QuickBooks, immediately as you authorize them in Qoblex. In my case here, what I'm going to do is I will log into my Xero account and edit that invoice, meaning remove the payments from that invoice so it becomes editable again. So I'll click on View in Xero. I'll remove the payment. The invoice should now have no payments in Xero, which should allow me to edit it from Qoblex. So I'll switch back to Qoblex and click on Edit again. The invoice is now draft and is open for edits. I changed the price of the first product to 800, the second one to 105, and I'll go ahead and now if I authorize the invoice and I try to attach a payment to it, the system will complain, probably. Right, so the system here complains because the payment is greater than the order total. And the reason is because I changed my invoice, but I have not changed the order itself. Qoblex runs some sort of three-way check to make sure that your invoice always matches the order line items. What I'm going to do to resolve this is I will edit the invoice again and then switch back to the order, fix the prices here. So this one is 800. This one is 105. Save. Now if I mark the invoice as paid, it should go through. So our sale order is fully invoiced at the moment. And I can see that either by looking at the total indicators right next to the invoices, or by going back to my sales view. So if I click on sales again, let me just copy this order number so I can search by it. Go to orders, paste the invoice number, or the order number, sorry. And now if we look at the invoiced column and the paid column, they're both ticked, which means this order has been fully invoiced and has been fully paid. So this is how you partially or fully invoice orders in Qoblex. If you have any questions or comments about sale orders, invoicing in general in Qoblex, please feel free to drop us a line or comment on the video below. Thank you.